So you want to create a makeup look that's celestial and divine and feels like starlight incarnate? Well, that's the plan for today. And this look is partly inspired by the Night Court from A Court of Mist and Fury, which I just finished. For those of you who don't like this series or aren't familiar, I think you're still gonna get a kick out of this look. It's all about sparkles and a really angelic feel. But for those familiar with the lore, it's inspired by the Night Court and the descriptions of the setting, which just feel so evocative. And there's this festival of starfall in the series where essentially the city has shooting stars flying all across it throughout the night. And it just sounded so beautiful. And I was like, oh gosh, I gotta create a makeup look out of this. I did also recently pick up this little fairy type of crown. So while this makeup look is going to be very wearable for perhaps an evening look, if you want to elevate it with something a little bit mythic, you can definitely add something like this to it. And just for anyone new here, hello, I'm Evangeline, and I see makeup as an art form and a vehicle for storytelling. So definitely consider subscribing if that sounds interesting to you. And I really like to make makeup feel wearable and approachable. And if you want to further support the channel so I can keep on making these videos, definitely check out my Patreon coven, which I've linked down below, where you can subscribe for some bonus content. All right, let us become Starlight and create this makeup look. I'm going to start this look out with some glow. This is from Rituel de Fille, and it is a glow serum called Moonlit Creature. It's kind of cool toned with a bit of a soft violet glow to it. So anyone who has a cool complexion may find it really kind of elevates your skin. For me, I just like the idea of having this base that's peeking through the foundation and has a bit of something strange to it almost, because there's this pinky reflect. It gets a lot more subtle once the foundation's on, but it can be really cool on its own depending how you use it. Gives a really otherworldly glow. A little bit of color corrector under the eye. Whenever I'm doing more glam and sparkly looks, I do like this step. Just really brightens up the eye area and helps prep it for the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to use the Fenty Soft Lip Foundation in 120. Ooh, I always forget how big the pumps are from that. One pump will definitely get you some good coverage. I love this foundation when I want like a really subtle glow to the skin. I find it like bounces light in a nice way. It might be a touch too pale for my summer skin, but that's okay. What you gonna do? Could always add some bronzer. For the second layer that I'm applying, I really like to, spread it around, but then like buff it into the skin after. Just really like makes everything blend and helps spread the product around and just like create a really even finish. Rather than go in with a full-on like bronzy moment, I'm just gonna add the littlest bit of this bronzer to add the slightest amount of dimension around the face. Like nothing on the cheekbones that looks like sun, but just enough to start to bring out the cheekbone a little bit. Make sure this fairer foundation isn't standing out, too much against my shoulders. It's a nice way to bring a bit of dimension back to the face, and rather than use a contour, you just use kind of more neutral bronzer, nothing too warm. This one's from Vive. Literally just so subtle. Going in with blush, this is the Fenty shade Riri, which is described as a soft rose mauve that's universally flattering, apparently. I think I'd like to go for a bit of lower blush placement today. I feel like this look has a little bit of romance to it, and I always love that blush placement for my more romantic looks. And I do love this shade for a mauve. It's one of the only blushes I found that actually feel like they translate as a mauve and not like as a peach, Let's get into the eyes. This is the Glaminatrix Timeless Tones palette, and there's some beautiful shades in here that I think are going to work so nicely with this look. I'm going to start by laying down a brightened base, taking a big fluffy brush and going in with Refined. And I'm going to lay this across the entire lid, from the inner corner all the way up to the brow bone, And essentially this is going to serve as the base for the entire eyeshadow look. So it provides something for any darker shades to blend against. And it is a little bit more cool toned than my skin, as you can see. This whole palette is cool toned actually. And then bringing it out. Then I'm gonna take this gray shade called Polished. Using this brush that's also fluffy but has a little bit more precision than that really big one I used earlier. And this is the shade I'm gonna use to add the littlest bit more depth. It's not actually that dark. And I'm gonna be like creating this like smudgy wing here. So I'm gonna start using this light shade that you can barely even like make a mistake with, you know, to start sketching out very, very softly where that smudgy wing is gonna go. And I'm gonna take this on the lower lash line. Now I'm gonna go into this shade Grace, which is a sparkly black. I haven't used this yet before. I'm gonna go like this, just in case there's any like rogue dark shimmers or fallout. And I'm gonna start placing that in the outer corner, just seeing how pigmented it is before I start to smudge it further out. Actually, I find it kind of buttery. It's a really interesting formula. It's quite pretty. And then I'm going to take that gray I was using earlier, and that's going to help me diffuse this black. I don't want anything that's like too dark and smoky, just enough to suggest that, you know, a nighttime aspect, but the sparkles I'm going to put all over the lid are going to be more of the focus. So now I'm going to take the pure black here with a really small brush and just add right at the lash line that extra bit of depth. So that dark matte like fades into the sparkly black. Now for all the fun sparkle. I'm gonna start with some glitter glue, as I often do, the NYX glitter glue. I'm gonna show you a sparkle technique. So taking this on the back of my hand, then just softly over the whole lid. Then I'm gonna go in with this shimmer here called Expensive that shifts both blue and purple. And instead of just going straight from the pan and onto my eye, I'm going to do this in a two-step process. I'm gonna put it at the back of my hand to kind of take off that initial amount. And then I'm going to start just like dotting it along and over the eyelid so that it's showing up more sparse, like stars in the sky, rather than an entire sheen across the lid. And when it's one of these translucent type of shimmers, you can kind of have fun with the placement. Like, you don't have to go too precise. I will be lowering down the lights later so you can really see this. It's such a pretty color. I love these like purpley blues. They're some of my favorites. And don't worry, we are adding more shimmer in a few different ways. But I'm also going to take this one, take the glitter glue on the lower lash line, take that shimmer and place it along the whole lower lash line. And a little bit out here. I like how sometimes it catches the light, the shimmer, and the color. Now I'm going to take Delicate, which is one of my favorite shimmers of all time. It's super silvery. And this is what I'm going to use for a little bit more of that wow factor. Since I've got the color all over the lid, I'm going to take a little bit more glitter glue and really focus it right there so that it's like a stream of light. At least that's the hope. And then whatever's kind of left on my finger, I'm also going to dab that around. A little bit of this also more focused on the lower lash line. And then I feel like this needs a touch more blue rather than this is turning more ultraviolet. I don't know. I'm gonna try Exquisite, which is sort of like a darker version of the first shimmer I went into. And let's see what happens with this multi-chrome. Oh yeah, it's shifting a touch more blue than the first one. So I'm just gonna dab that around kind of randomly. A little bit here. So it's like the whole look is like a little bit of an exploding aurora or something, you know? So I just did my lashes off camera, and I swear when you look up close, this looks so sparkly. I just can't tell if it's showing up on camera. So stay till the end because I'm gonna lower the lights and you can see all the different colors. Yeah, we'll see. It looks really cool up close and I hope the camera will show it off. Now I'm going to use some silver highlight from Rare Beauty and put this on the cheekbone to really tie the complexion in with the eye, which is all cool toned. That was kind of a lot, but let's just go with it. A little bit here too, in a noticeable way. So I'm going to combine two lip liners, the first of which is from Thrive Cosmetics and the shade is Gislin. It's kind of like a mauve pink, just like the blush. But I think it needs a little bit of gray to it. So I'm going to take Makeup Forever Endless Cacao, which is like a gray taupe liner, and like blend it into that. And then gloss is a must. Once again, doing the same thing. A little bit of a pinky gloss. This is from Tower 28. It's the shade Sesame. Then also this like sparkly, sparkly gloss from Patrick Ta called She's Expensive. I love this one because it has so many like tiny sparkles in it, but it doesn't create like a frosty lip effect. It keeps it very just like translucent, but it adds a little bit of like the way the light is hitting your lips, just like extra. Okay, here's the look. Basically finished before I do finishing touches with hair and the crown and maybe switch up the jewelry, but this is how you could wear it for like a night out. You know, these small little celestial details of the earrings, maybe you have on like a black dress and it feels very like modern, but then you have all this shimmer here. Now let's elevate it. I'm gonna pop off camera, style my hair a little bit as best I can, and just see how I can elevate it and then show you in the low light and how just how sparkly this look is. And here's the look made a little bit more costume-like, and this is gonna be so great for a photo shoot. I'm gonna dim the lights so you can see all the sparkle in all its glory. And here's the slightly lower light where you can just see the colors and the reflections a little more. And the pantyhose on the lens just helps show all the ways that the sparkles catch the light. And then here it is without the pantyhose, again in the low light. You can just see everything so much better. All right, friends, that's it for this video. I hope you liked this exploration. I feel really happy with how the eyes turned out. It really feels like it did capture the night sky with the smokiness here and like the blue and purple shimmers and silver. Like it's all about layering and just like using all different kinds of shimmery textures. And then it was just so fun to put the crown on, put some more bold kinds of jewelry with it and just like really have fun with the whole look and bring it completely to life. But as I showed you earlier, you could definitely really wear that for a night out. Anyway, that's it for today. Toasty, let's take it away. Toasty, are you a night court boy? More of an autumn boy? Oh, I don't know if they're nice in the autumn court yet. I'm not that far. I'm in book 3, halfway through, so we'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching until the end. And definitely consider subscribing or checking out my Patreon for bonus content. Link down below. Press those buttons. Press the like. And until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, witches.